Hello, friends. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and this is Cosmic Connections for this week. It's a chance for us to take a peek at the astrology, the major lunation of the week, and do some spiritual messages and just gather and chit chat. I wonder and I hope your Halloween went well. And I know in my neighborhood, we only had, I don't know, maybe 15 kids, and it was very structured, very different than the way that I remember growing up. And by that, I mean we had the lights went on at 6 until 8, and it promptly at 8, we had no more trick or treaters. It was, we had one group of children who were actually serenading us. They brought a an iTunes. I don't. They brought music with them, and they were singing along to a popular song, and they were very entertaining. And the other thing I noticed, again, growing up many years ago, um, parents were in the wings, so it was quite the evening. And I hope if you are in the position to give out treats that you had a good evening. I'm very curious. I know we have people listening from around the world. I'm interested in knowing what treats are given out wherever you are, or whatever neck of the woods you reside in. And if you do give out candy, and if people come to your door, and or if you give apples. Or I remember the worst thing you could give a kid growing up in my neighborhood were things that were useful, like pencils. We wanted those chocolate bars. And what is your favorite Halloween candy? I don't know. Mine is definitely Snickers. Hi, Donna. Hi, cheap lollies. Oh, I love lollies, Helen. I don't think you're in Western New York. Lollies, of course, are lollipops, and different flavors, fruit flavored. I'm interested, Helen. Hi from Oregon. Angie, did you give out candy this year? Snickers and Twix. Okay, Nikki, you're a woman after my own heart. Absolutely. Chocolate gums. Yeah. That's interesting, Angela. Reese's, of course, those peanut butter candies. Yeah. And then what about the leftover candy? I was talking to a friend today, and they were very smart. They bought the little wrapped candy bars in a bigger package, and they returned the entire package to the supermarket, and the supermarket took the candy back. I checked our remaining chocolates, and I noticed the Snickers were mysteriously gone. So I think I'm going to point the finger at my son. I don't know, because those are my favorite. Three Musketeers. Come on over, Paula. I got some leftover Three Musketeers. Not my favorite. Okay. Favorite is the, oh, interesting, Jennifer. Okay. They're the English for wrap sweets. Thank you, Helen. See, you're teaching everybody something. Okay. I love it. Lollies. I love it. Snickers. Are there Snickers in England? I don't know. Oh, gosh. Yes, and Happy Day of the Dead. And I can't pronounce it properly. But of course, this is all Saints' Day. And in many, especially Latin American countries with the Christian background, there's a celebrations going on and offerings being made to ancestors within cemeteries. I understand some of you have actually been up close and personal during that wonderful celebration. Thank you, Nancy, for the birthday greetings. You know, once you have a birthday, the whole month is designed to and that, first of all, I'm glad you reminded me, Nancy. Thank you so much for your so heartfelt and your many happy birthday greetings. And a word about the birthday chart. I often say, well, I'll send out a chart. If you're falling this year, I'll send you a solar return chart. Please understand that a solar return chart is red, because I got some comments from someone who I sent a chart out for them for their birthday in October. Well, I don't know exactly how to read it. You read it like a regular chart, but it's thematic. And the extra emphasis, friends, in your solar return chart is whatever the sun is doing in your chart, because it's a solar return chart. Quick definition: in astrology, we have all these tools. We have transit charts, we have progress charts, we have secondary progressions, we have all these wonderful tools. And one of them is called the solar return chart. And that's when we calculate where is the sun exactly when you were born, when you took your first breath. And that may or may not be on your actual birthday. My birthday is the 29th of October, and I've had solar return charts on the 28th of October. And it can be a little confusing, but you read that like a regular chart. So that's a little astrological lead in here tonight. And how was everybody this past weekend with the lunar eclipse? It seems like so many days ago, but please understand my birthday and my son's birthday fell within hours of the lunar eclipse. And he and I, and my daughter as well, because she's Scorpio rising, and other people I know with planets at 6 degrees of fixed, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Leo, were literally eclipsed this past weekend. My entire household struggled, and everybody says, "Oh, I hope you have a great day. Celebrate, celebrate." You know what I was doing? I was doing what I'm going to be talking about that we'll all be doing this upcoming weekend. What I was doing is resting, because we all became very, I don't want to get too graphic with you, make it up as I go along. We had a gastroitis event, all three of us, and it was pretty ugly. Let's leave it at that. So tonight, after Cosmic Connections, I'm going to have my birthday cake. The first time in my life, well, since I was a child, I did not have birthday cake, and so I'm blowing out the candles tonight with my son afterwards. I could not tolerate anything, let alone birthday cake, this past weekend. I got eclipsed. And what an eclipse represents is a portal of change. And this particular eclipse, and so that's my question for you tonight. We were able to purge something. We were able to let go of something in the past 4 days in consciousness. And for me, it was literal. And it's symbolic at the same time, right? So we're purging with the aftermath of the last lunar eclipse in Taurus and Scorpio for the next 18 years. Because we're now moving totally in the realm of Aries and Libra, friends. And it's countdown to the big granddaddy, the great North American eclipse that takes place on April 8th. You're going to get me, you get very tired of me talking about that, but I will be talking a lot about it. And so in any case, welcome to Cosmic Connections, Snickers and Twists, another Twix and another vote for that. Whoppers. I like Whoppers. I haven't had Whoppers for a long time. Oh, I'm sorry too, Donald. Isn't that funny? I mean, it's just, we don't have the younger population as much, right? The baby boomers had babies in the 1990s, and they're having babies now, but I don't know. We're just in between generations. Violent Crumble. I remember those violet candies. Those are delicious. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Rhonda. When is my Saturn return? Oh, thank you. You're making me feel very young. My Saturn return, are you talking about in general? Or when is your Saturn return? My Saturn return was years and years ago. It was like 7 years ago. But a Saturn return is when Saturn returns to the exact position of where it was when you were born. Saturn's orbit, say it with me, friends, is 28.5 years. So that 28 years of age, 29 years of age, or 58, 59 years of age. And if you're lucky enough to make it to almost 90, 89, 88, those are Saturn return years. And Saturn is structure. When Saturn returns, we have all these planets returning. And so when a planet returns, it emphasizes your particular version of doing whatever it takes, whatever marching orders that planet suggests. So a solar return, every time you hear solar return, that's another return around the sun. The old greeting cards would say many happy returns. May you have many happy returns. That's talking about the sun. That's your birthday. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Robert. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I've seen many orbs and spirits 5 years ago at one time in the middle of the state of Florida while passing through. That's a nice comment, Robert. This was a very busy week, despite all of our celebrations or lack thereof because of the birthdays. My son and I was born on the same day, by the way. He was my best birthday present. Uh, we did a ghost, uh, is we call it a spirit stroll, but it was a ghost walk of the village where we live in, and that was on Monday night. And we talked a lot about orbs, and we had took pictures, and we have pictures of orbs. And I love the paranormal investigation stuff, Robert. Another astrological tidbit: my chart has Pallas Athena, the goddess of career, right next to Black Moon Lilith in my chart in Aquarius, and I love all that investigation in the realm of the paranormal, etc. And this is the time of the year for it. Okay, John grew up in Des Moines, and Baker's Night was the night before Halloween, telling jokes to get candy. Oh, how interesting! That's a neat thing. So I was thrilled to have these kids serenade us yesterday. The kids just asked for candy and didn't give a joke. I think when my sister lived in Scotland with her children, the children had to sing for their candy. So that's kind of interesting. Hi, Marie, Miss Scorpio Rising. Happy second birthday. Good evening, Rodney. Oh, thank you, Angie. I like it too. It's really comfortable. See, it's reversible. Oh, violets are such a great candy, Diane. I remember those. Thank you for sharing, Leslie. Hey, Sam, you got my message, right? A lot can happen in 24 hours, right? Moment by moment. Hi, Judith. Is to watch Hallmark Christmas movies. I love that tradition. I love that tradition. And of course, in Buffalo, New York, it snowed on Halloween. So I don't know about you, but it made me happy. I do like, I can't live in Buffalo unless you like snow. All right, friends, let's take a look at the chart and our lunation for this week. So we are still in, let's look like it was misspelled. It says cosmic connection. Okay, great. Think about the four major aspects every month. And so we have a new moon this year, or this past lunation was a solar eclipse in Libra on the 14th of October. And then we have the first quarter square when we kind of rebuild. Then we have the full moon this time around, the lunar eclipse this past weekend on the 28th. And then we jump to what's called the last quarter. Last quarter is when the moon looks like it's half, and the sun and moon are making a 90-degree angle. And it's the time of working, but editing and making things come to a completion. The goals and the dreams and the projects you started back on the 14th, theoretically, are coming to fruition. And you have to work hard to make it the goal, fait accompli. You're trying to finish up what you were starting way back when 3 weeks earlier. So our last quarter square is colored by the sign of Leo. All right. It takes place. Can I read my PowerPoint here? It's November. For heaven's sakes, I'll just use this. Hold on. Again, this is an Eastern Daylight Time because we lose the daylight time actually this weekend on Sunday the 5th. But, however, that's the day of the quarter cycle. So Sunday the 5th, we have the last quarter at 3:37 in the morning, and that's after daylight savings time ends. So we are now officially, with this particular chart, this Sunday, into the realm of regular timing. Above my pay grade to decide if we are daylight or not. Okay, so let's take a look at the aspects. The moon in Leo represents the Sabian symbol of the old sea captain rocking on the cottage. And it's the idea of recollection and remembrances, nostalgia. You know, he's at rest. he's rocking in a rocking chair, and he's gazing on the harbor as he's watching the ships coming and going. I certainly felt that way this past weekend. But take this image to you and integrate it this weekend and see if old thoughts and old meanings come into your mindset. The idea of taking your life and recollecting. You don't have to be old to do that. You can be a young person of 15 years of age, at your Saturn opposition, when you're thinking about your life, trying to integrate things and resting or meditating. So this is a very recollection type of weekend. Even though it's a quarter cycle and we're motivated to take action, perhaps we're motivated to take action on our inner self. The moon is opposite Hygeia. Now that represents health concerns individually. I think of Hygeia as a health asteroid, but she's often kind of indicates public health. And, so the fallout of the great Capricorn line of COVID era is still kind of lingering. And, so you might be recollecting about how's your health post CV, number one. Number two, you might be trying to integrate the ongoing intentional push by, that's the next one, by the powers that be to still disseminate the particular injections. Please do some recollection and some education of self during this particular week, because it's right there in the chart, and you might be wondering, as we skip down to Pallas, do I even have it on there? Well, I'll tell you right now, Saturn's going to be opposite Black Moon Lilith. So that represents what in the world are people in power doing? And that's not necessarily focused on any sort of health crisis, but the world itself, the crazy, frightening world of governments making decisions for us all. So we're thinking, we're meditating, we're recollecting, and we're looking at what's out there. Meanwhile, in our own lives, in our own families, in our own circles, Venus is opposite Neptune this weekend. This is a great time for romance, and it's a great time for forgiveness. And since we're still recollecting, do some forgiveness of those Venusian relationships that went south, that did not work out. Maybe forgive yourself for being in a relationship that separated. I mean, it's still a relationship that you learned from, the old mirror effect. So that is very, very strong this upcoming weekend, because Neptune kind of colors things in rose-colored hues, and Venus is love, of course. So this idea of forgiveness and compassion is a very positive thing, but because we're tying into the Sabian symbol of recollection, we might be thinking about relationships that are no longer in our lives. We have Mars, we have Ceres, we have Mercury, all lined up in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio loves to do what? It loves to research. What's Ceres? Food, grain, nurturance. We might be doing some very deep thinking on how to make ourselves healthy again, going back to the moon opposite Hygeia, through food, through nutrition. And we might do our due diligence. What am I eating? How am I eating? What am I eating? And it's a passionate desire to become healthier. Pallas is conjunct the South Node. You can't quite see it on the slide, but that's what she is doing. Pallas is the goddess of our career. South Node is bye-bye, it's letting go. So there might be a dream or two that you thought you wanted to do in your life with your career or with your vocation. And this particular configuration says, let it go. Or maybe resurrect it in a different configuration. You don't have to get stuck on a particular career goal if it's not working for you. So that's, I think, one of the messages of Pallas conjunct the South Node in this particular chart. We still have enough water in this chart, which is implying that we are in a place that we really, really need to open up our intuition. but we're going to be motivated to organize and to take action very much in our lives with this energy. So I'm going to go through all the signs and tell you where this recollection lunation is taking place. For our Aries or Aries rising, it's recollecting, perhaps if you have a parent, recollecting when your children were small. If you were a person without children, recollecting when you were small. It has to do with playfulness and creativity, trying to reminisce about the way you were, not the way we were, the way you were as a child. That's for our Aries friends. For Taurus or Taurus rising, this recollection energy this weekend is in the house of family and home. You might be having some home dreams, the original home you grew up in, or recollecting and therefore forgiving people within your family structure. For Gemini or Gemini rising, this is a really great weekend for you to just meditate and recollect. It's in your third house. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. And if you have siblings, you might be recollecting about occasions of connecting with them, sisters and brothers-in-law and sisters-in-law and so forth. For Cancer or Cancer rising, this is a great time for you to look at your skills this weekend. Look at your superpowers and try to dovetail some of those wonderful skills and talents to create more abundance in your life. A, or B, just watch your income. Just look at your financial health over the weekend. All eyes are on Leo, because Leo is what's being signified by this lunation. Become a feeling of more charisma, more confidence with this particular lunation. Recollect when you are happy and bold and brave. That's for you, Leo. For Virgo or Virgo rising, this particular weekend is a great time for you literally to rest, to pray, to meditate. You may be a little physically under the weather, but emotionally and psychically very tuned in. For our Libra friends, this particular energy is activating your friendship circles. So you might be thinking about the good old days with those friends that you are no longer in touch with. So something along those lines, your social structure, the people that you care about. For Scorpio or Scorpio rising, this particular lunation is activating your career, your leadership, and ways you want to contribute in the outer world. For Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising, it's all about travel and learning and sharing new ideas. Maybe you might be recollecting about places you visited in the past, and maybe even plan a new trip to some place that you'd like to see again. Capricorn or Capricorn rising, it's all about your internal power, the way to tap into your psychic, spiritual, and financial power as well. So you might be looking at ways to make those areas of your life stronger. For Aquarius or Aquarius rising, it's a great time for partnership this upcoming weekend. It's activating your significant other. You might be recollecting, in this case, the way we were and how to bring in more passion and friendship into the mix with your partner. Last but not least, our Pisces friends, it's all about looking at ways to become healthier. So this lunation is taking action on becoming a healthier person through nutrition, exercise, good sleep, etc. All right. Hello, friends. Thank you for being here. People from all over, thank you. And we're going to do our spirit messages now. But I'm also going to draw our person who receives the lunation and the prize of Lunar Lights Club. So tonight, the lovely lady is Susan Arun. I don't think I saw you in tonight, Susan, but thank you so much for sharing over the many months. Sharing is caring, and you all can feel free to share. And in doing so, your name goes into a basket, which keeps on getting bigger over the months. Okay. Thank you, Helen. You're so sweet. All right. So tonight I'm going to do some 2 messages, and I am inclined to give you a reading, darling, but it's all very random. I literally close my eyes, say a prayer, and I don't know where this is coming up from, which platform, but I'm just seeing names here. So I will say, dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love, light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest, for the best, as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. So the person I just came to is Mary Taravella. Mary Taravella. All right, Mary, I'm with you. And as I'm tuning into your energy, I'm going right to the emotional body. I'm connecting my heart chakra with my solar plexus chakra. And it's almost as if there's a delicate balance that's going on in your life right now. There's emotion and there's missing, and there's a lot of nostalgia. Missing, I feel it's missing parents as I'm tuning in here. And especially your mom. I don't know if there's this time of the year is triggering a lot of memories or something along these lines, or if you just would like her to be in front of you to commiserate with. And she's saying to me to tell you, you talk to her all the time, and it really is a communication. And please understand, she's saying, Mary, that I'm there for you all the time. And sometimes you don't listen because I'm so close within your heart, but just kind of step back. And the kitchen is where you feel her presence most of all. And I don't feel it was her kitchen, it's your kitchen, but I feel that there's a real sense of following in her cooking footsteps. And there are some recipes you like to do. And as we get closer to the holidays, there are little traditions, and they were very much wrapped around food and sharing with friends and family. And you're missing your mom. I'm sorry, darling. You know, when we love someone and they're gone, it could be for a year ago, or it could be 10 years ago, that pain, and that's the price of loving someone. We all know this, but it's still okay to embrace that missing and embrace that sorrow, and just kind of breathe it through and move it through. But anyway, she's coming in to give you a big hug and telling you how much she appreciates you still communicating and praying for her. I have to emphasize this, friends. Today in the Christian calendar, Day of the Dead, also All Saints Day, and All Souls Day. If you haven't done a little prayer for your ancestors, why don't you give it a whirl tonight? Before you go to bed, say a little prayer to that beautiful ancestor that you haven't really seen for, I don't know, 50 years, because they've been gone that long. But again, it's my belief, my prayer, my hope, sometimes more of a knowledge, that we don't disappear, right? We just don't disappear. Why would that happen, right? I mean, Einstein says something about matter could neither be destroyed or, you know that. By the way, has anyone seen the movie After Death or After Death? It's a short run movie, and I'm going to go see it on Friday. So check it out. One of the medium friends down at Lilydale, Simon, was recommending it on Facebook, and I'm just going to throw that out. I'm going to watch it this weekend, and I'll report back to you. After Death is the name of it. It's based on scientific interviews with scientists and people who've had near-death experiences. We should do like a little gathering on that sometime, because I know a lot of you have had near-death experiences. All right, one more read here tonight. Okay, I'm with Miss Paula Churchill. All right, thank you, Paula. As I'm tuning into your energy, I'm getting kind of this excitement, and we're talking about recollection. The excitement I'm getting in my physical body kinesthetically is that of dance and movement. And I want to take you back, dear Paula, to when you were a little girl. And I'm seeing, I don't know if you took dance lessons, or you just were a precocious kid, and that you like to wear the, little ballerina skirts or that frilly, itchy material, and you're always entertaining people. But I'm picking up that image of you, that you got ants in your pants and you want to get moving. And I'm going to interpret that is connecting the precocity of you as a child, when you like to move and like to not just dance, but like hike and be outdoors, that you're starting something anew in your life, to physically benefit yourself using movement. And I'm getting all these little snapshots of you, Paula, as a young person, very young person, maybe doing aerobic dancing or something like this. Why? I don't question what I get. I just share it. But there's something that you're excited about beginning and launching, and this is for your own good. We talked earlier about Leo, Moon opposite Hygeia. It's almost like you're happy because there is some concern about your physical health, and now you feel you have more confidence. And it could be physical therapy for all I know. I'm not sure what I'm picking up with you, Paula, but just the idea of I'm going to get moving no matter what. That's my new goal for myself. And so that's one message I'm getting for you, dear Paula. The other one I'm picking up is along the same kind of lines is excitement about making some trips, some plans to travel. And I'm going to say that 2024 is going to be a couple of trips for you of things on your, what we call your bucket list, and things that you had to put on the back burner. And so get moving and get planning. So I'll leave that with you, Paula. Okay, Mary's giving me some feedback. You always cook what she taught you. Beautiful. Love to you, Janet from AZ. Lovely. Oh, Cindy, God bless your father. What a powerful Scorpio are you? Oh my gosh. That's so cool. You saw it, Cynthia? How was it? Was it a good movie? After Death? Well worth a watch. A lot of people are saying that. Okay. Wow. And he did have an NDE. Okay. Yes, Charlene, we should have a discussion. I like that. Okay. All right. Well, you're very welcome, Paula. And Raymond Moody is also not only a fabulous doctor and an innovator, a maverick, a pioneer in the near-death. I think he coined the term near-death experience something like 30 years ago, maybe 40 years ago. He came to Lilydale Assembly this past year, and I had the opportunity to see him. It was just so awesome. A couple points of notation, friends. Join the CIA, the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. If you're listening to this platform, you probably are already a member. If not, check out the offerings on CIA. Check out my website as well. And I'm going to have some really exciting things coming up, including a new class. It's called Dancing with the Shadow. Dancing with the Shadow. That's coming up and starting at the new moon. So check that out. Dancing with the Shadow. Archetypal astrology using Jungian precepts and the 12 archetypes. So some of you might be interested in taking that class. It's not on my website yet. I'm just perfecting the words before I promote it. And of course, next year, I know some of you have already signed up. We're going to Alaska for a healing cruise in May. And we're going to have a healing retreat in April for the eclipse that you all can take part in physically and even virtually. Well, maybe not the cruise virtually. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Get to work on Sunday with that quarter cycle. Recollect and redo some aspect of your life. God bless you. See you next Wednesday.